today Pritam, the General Manager for Consumer and Employee Technology at Unilever. Thanks, Pritam. Over to you to close us out today with your session.
Thank you. And I think I have come a full circle today because 10 years ago I actually was part of this Cisco program listening. At that time we didn't have telepresence. We actually had Cisco live. I didn't even remember that tech that was there. So it was exciting for me and one of the reasons that really motivated to take a career in IT. So looking back, you would always be thinking that, why would Unilever, which is what we call a soups and soap company, is part of this career fair? Well, technology is the heart of everything that we do in Unilever. Why I work in Unilever, and I have gone through the same journey as you when I graduated, because I love Unilever and the ethos and purpose that Unilever reflects, and it allows me to do the very best of what I love to do, and what kind of opportunities it provides me helps me go global and do things across the organization. In my 6 years in Unilever, I have spent time in 4 countries and have been able to experience cultures across those, which personally also helps me in my personal development. We are, as you know, we have all the big nice brands, and I know many of you listening would also be our consumers and using some of our brands. Definitely Magnum, which is my favorite. We are present in 190 countries, and we have kind of 170,000 people working across from shop floor to our CEOs and general managers of every countries, and we have a big IT function. We did mention we invest over €1 billion a year in R&D, but we also invest over 1.2 billion in IT every year in Unilever globally. So what I wanted to do today is really take you through with my journey, because looking back, I really was at the same position 10 years ago. What I do today, in my current role, I am the General Manager of Consumer and Employee Technology, and I'm accountable in Unilever for changing the way people experience and drive change across the organization by making Unilever more human, more impactful, and more purpose driven. I'm currently based in Manila, a nice and, as you know, a sunny city in Philippines. And along with Unilever, it gives me the opportunity to not only do what I want to do as part of my job, but also we have something called an 80-20 principle, where I spend 20% of my time really working with startups and other companies. So I am mentoring, and I'm kind of really working very closely with some of the other startups. And you will be surprised to know one of them is in bug testing for Android and Google Play Store, and one of them is in pet-based travel company. So along with your work, you really get to live what you are passionate about. And I love skydiving. That's one of my best hobbies that I want to do. And one of the reasons I really started my career in Unilever when I graduated across the various IT, tech, and other companies that we had at that point of time was I was always a middle bencher, as I would call it. I was not a backbencher or a front bencher, but I saw myself always as an enabler, because I really believe that technology is on its own can't change. Silicon Valley is the house of all the big startups, but Silicon Valley is also the world's greatest graveyard of ideas, because some of the ideas have never been able to come to life because they didn't have been able to be driven by a bigger purpose of driving change. So at Unilever, my role really focuses around how we use technology to change the way my consumer, my employees behave, and really drive change across the organization. So the way I wanted to kind of really spend this time with you is really take you through of what I did this year, and how it is linked to my higher purpose, and how you as a potential candidate can really be part of this great journey. So the first thing which I did focus on 3 things this year, and in Unilever we really focus on kind of really making the best of what we do. So we made a step change in the way we do recruitment. So some of you might be applying to our global recruitment channels. We reduced and changed our complete hiring process, which used to take 6 months to 2 weeks, and in turn, really kind of completely changing and saving the business of over €1 million. We completely change our overall recruitment experience. So now in just a matter of few weeks, we have an offer letter generated to from a candidate selection process, and in turn across globally we have kind of done a huge change, and you won't believe that this is one of the best digital innovations of this year across the organization. So what next we did? What we do is we drive large programs in Unilever as part of the IT function. But that doesn't mean we lose sight of what's new is coming. Uber, 5 years ago, was a small startup, but today it's $1 billion business. So how do we work on it? We follow a 80-20 principle where we have something called a digital board, which manages every single idea, every single startup that we have, and we work with them to ensure that we leverage those ideas across the business, partner them and mentor them. And some of our ideas or our partners are currently our $1 billion businesses. So we have, for example, a company called Brandtone, who is now a digital marketing analytics company, but is partnered and funded by Unilever because we help them grow within our organization and drive big change. We are changing the way we manage performance and talents, and what we are doing as part of that is, what I am doing as part of that is really looking at how Unilever measures its people, how we measure what can be a 20th century Unilever, because we don't want to be we want to give opportunities to each and every employee that we have in Unilever, and how can we have a performance and reward system that globally changes the way employees are rewarded, and we don't want barriers or labels across the organization. So the next stuff I'm doing is basically changing the way we look at performance and talent across Unilever. And the last is we have, as I mentioned, every year we spend more than €1 billion on IT. So how do we ensure that we kind of really change the investment and drive the maximum value out of it? So the third thing that we focus this year is primarily to ensure that the ecosystem of learning that we have in Unilever, we get the maximum value out of it by building technologies which leverage from the investment that we have done. So quick summary, 3 things: impactful, purpose driven, and making the organization human for the employees, as well as making it a consumer friendly organization. Now, how does Unilever enable me to achieve what I really want? I don't want to be maybe working all my life, or I want to do something different. So Unilever helps me drive a purpose-driven career. For us, a purpose is the most important thing, and career success roles are only a byproduct of those. So for me, my purpose is to lead and drive a new age people experience across organizations and across employees. By the age of 40, I want to be a thought leader in people experience and I fancy a list called times 40 under 40. That's what I want to do, and set up a non-profit to enable basic education for 50,000 girl child, because that's a deprived community in countries like India and sub-Saharan Africa. So how does Unilever enable me? As you know, we are a big US, one of our core values is sustainability, and we work with communities, and along with my current role, I get the opportunity to not only do what my job wants, but what my purpose is and what will really be giving me satisfaction in terms of a long-term career goal. Unilever is known as the CEO factory of the world, and we develop leaders. For us, people driven by purpose make the biggest change, and we enable people to really reach their full potential. So as you know, Unilever, for example, is currently working with me to help me how I can do what is best for my purpose and how the organization can benefit for it. And we really believe in a two-way street where the employee learns and gains from Unilever, and at the same time Unilever enables the employee to achieve his or her fullest potential. So that was about me. How can you be part of this journey? As I mentioned, we are called the CEO factory of the world because we have many of our ex alumni, and we still have connects with many of them who are the CEOs of large organizations in the world. So as a young graduate, what can you do? We are starting in Southeast Asia for a BTM function, which is the technology function of Unilever. And if you are interested in a journey like me, come and join us. You can apply through our digital portal, and you can on your own experience the step change that we have made in recruitment, and work at Unilever. It will give you an opportunity to learn. We will enable you to achieve your fullest potential. And as I mentioned, we are focused on purpose and what is your ultimate purpose and want to achieve. And we will enable you to achieve that purpose. For us, every person has the potential to be a great leader, and which includes many steps like having a global career, getting the right reward, but at the end it is a purpose driven leadership that really makes you different from everybody else. So how will the UFLP process start, and how can you be part of this exciting journey? You can start with a case competition, seminars, and it will also start with mentoring and factory tours as part of that, to give you complete overview of the UFLP journey and become part of the overall onboarding and really experience to fullest what we do in Unilever. So once you join as a Unilever Future Leaders program, we select the best and brightest. You become part of a global community of few hundreds who are selected across the globe. We give you the best of opportunities across our 190 countries that you operate, across the systems and the functions that you have, and leaders like me or others in the organization really spend time on you. In fact, right now I have a UFLP listening to the whole conversation to give you an impression, to make sure that we develop two leaders who become the future leaders of Unilever, and we invest time and energy in every single step. Every 3 months we have a role planned for you, or 6 months we have a role planned for you, and to ensure you go through a complete holistic journey of 18 to 24 months, where you get a full overview of what Unilever is, what are the functions, and really make the best out of it. The best part of UFLP journey is the networks. In an organization of our size, you are an individual, and for you to drive a change, you have to be connected to a big network. UFLP gives you to be connected to the best and brightest across the globe, and you become part of a network which survives even beyond the organization and really drives you a career that only few can achieve and only few can dream of. So what is the selection process that we have? We start with an online application, digitized. You apply in our portal. You will be asked to play games. Yes, we evaluate you through games. You will be able to fill balloons. You will be able to donate money via games to your colleagues or friends, and we will assess you based on 12 cognitive parameters, a model which has been scientifically proven and based on what the people we want to be part of our great organization. Once you complete the profile assessment, and if you are in the top 5% of people who have made through the profile assessment, we will do a completely digital interview of you, where you will be asked to answer about from a case study of the various situations that are there within the organization. So once you finish the digital interview, all of this process will be digital. You will be called to the assessment center, and only the best and brightest make it to the assessment center, where you will be working with us. We will be working with you closely to assess you, understand what your strengths are and your development areas are, and really build you on the path to be a great leader. So come, join us, be part of a great journey, and make the best of what you can. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Really appreciate you joining us today and sharing